coronavirus outbreak, sparking a whistleblower complaint as well.
It claims the Health and Human Services Department sent workers to evaluate the first Americans evacuated from China to California without proper training or protective gear. The department responding back saying, "We take all whistleblower complaints very seriously and are providing the complainant all appropriate protections under the Whistleblower Protection Act. We are evaluating the complaint and have nothing further to add at this time." Florida Senator Rick Scott is our headliner this morning and joins us now to react to all of that and what we're learning. Senator, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Boy, you hope that patient in California gets well. It always scares you. I went through this with Zika down in Florida. And what you want to do is you want to get as much information out to the public as you can. It's frustrating that Communist China has not been very transparent, but the South Korea information, they're going to be more transparent. So we're going to learn a lot about incubation periods, infection rates, things like that, as we follow what's going on in South Korea. So I'm glad that President Trump appointed Vice President Pence. I asked them to do a point person. So we've just got to now do everything we can to keep people informed.
Senator, if I could get you to respond to what we're watching in the lower part of our screen there. We're watching the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a snapshot of our markets, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. They are plunging this week, responding to the growing fears over the spread of this virus. Obviously, there's speculation it could get worse. Some say, like the president, it could miraculously disappear. Everyone is trying to assess the risk here at home and around the world. The Dow before today fell 10.5%. It's down another 4% this morning. How do we assess those risks?
Well, the problem is that because China's not transparent, it's hard. I think you have to, don't be overconfident, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. And that's why I've been talking to all the federal agencies, the FDA. I said, you've got to be very clear what shortages of drugs or medical devices we're going to have. Homeland Security's got to say what sort of things that consumers want. Are we going to have a shortage? How do we solve those shortages? The CDC needs to put up a 24/7 hotline to get information out to people so they can make way better informed decisions. And there's no, we're not dealing with rumors. And so I think all this, we've got to keep people informed, but we're going to get better information as we follow what happened in South Korea, I believe.
So that's what you want the federal government to do. You're a former governor. Obviously, you mentioned your experience with the Zika. What lessons did you learn there that maybe could be applied here that you want our viewers to know, not just in Florida, but around the country, about what they can be doing as well?
I think get informed. You need to understand exactly what's going on. Follow what the federal government is putting out. The federal government, I want the CDC to do a 24/7 hotline because I think that will help. I think the federal government needs to be doing constant updates of what they do know. And if they don't know something, be very clear. Don't be overconfident, but tell people exactly what's going on, and people can, Americans are smart. They're going to make good, informed decisions. But I'm getting phone calls. There's lots of rumors from family, friends, citizens of my state, and I want the federal government to put more information out. I've asked them to do it. I believe they're going to do it. I think Vice President Pence is a good pick.
What do you think of the calls for more funding and more resources to be thrown at this?
I think we have to do that. Who knows what the right number is right now, and it shouldn't be a fight it shouldn't be a political fight. We ought to put up money and be very comfortable that we're going to do supplemental, whatever number we give. If it's not enough, let's be ready to do more. I think the way the the president asked for it through HHS, where they can allocate it, where AZAR can allocate it, I think is really smart. That's the right way of doing it. So let's stay ahead of this and make sure we keep the public informed, and we got to keep everybody safe. And I hope that the lady in California has a full recovery.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. This is obviously happening in a broader context. You've seen we've got a presidential campaign almost in full swing. South Carolina primary coming Saturday, Super Tuesday quickly after that. The president has been frustrated at Democrats where you are in the Capitol attacking him and turning this political. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is not political. We hope everybody is safe. We hope the federal government does their job. This is not about politics, and they shouldn't bring it. Politics shouldn't be part of this. I represent everybody in my state. I want everybody in my state to be safe, so I hope it doesn't come into everybody complaining about each other. So this is about keeping people healthy.
Yeah, that campaign I mentioned, obviously, Bernie Sanders' comments, he's now the front runner for the Democrats, as you know. He's been sort of defending his previous comments about Fidel Castro and literacy, helping people read and write in Cuba. He's faced a lot of controversy. Here he is in the debate, and then I want you to react.
What I said is what Barack Obama said in terms of Cuba, that Cuba made progress on education. Yes, I think, really? Really?
Yes, because there's no
programs
comparing
are bad.
those two
What
comments.
Barack Obama said
Obama
is
was
they
doing
made
was opening
great
diplomatic
progress
doors.
on
What you were doing
education
is making
and
excuses.
health care. That was Barack Obama.
Colleague, Congressman Diaz-Balart, putting out this statement yesterday in contrast with the blatantly false, irresponsible, and hurtful comments of the Castro regime apologists. He's introduced a resolution that stands in solidarity with the people of Cuba as they struggle against totalitarianism while demanding human rights, democracy, and freedom. He wants an up or down vote on whether members of Congress are in support of what Bernie Sanders is saying.
Well, that makes all the sense in the world. First off, Bernie Sanders can kiss Florida goodbye. You're not going to have people that fight to get away from socialism and vote for it again. But you have these Democrats. They'll go out, and when it's easy to say they are against the Castro regime and stuff like that, when there's a vote, like Donna Shalala and Congresswoman Macarsel-Powell, when there was a vote required, they didn't even show up. So it's convenient sometimes to say you care about liberty and freedom, but then when you have to take an action, these Democrats are not even around. And by the way, Bernie Sanders is just the only Democrat that's being honest. He says what he believes. The others, they're all socialists. They're just not saying it.
Well, he's also saying that a lot of these programs would be free, but ultimately somebody's got to pay for it.
Well, first off, let's go back to Cuba for a second. Let's remember Castro has firing squads. There's a lady I gave a Freedom Award to. She got her hand chopped off by the Castro regime. You know what she did wrong? She complained that the Castro regime was going to close a school in her community. Got her hand chopped off. I mean, and Bernie Sanders is supporting this? This is crazy.
Well, we talked to the DNC last hour. They will rally around whoever becomes the nominee. Senator Rick Scott, appreciate your time this morning.